Well, good afternoon or good evening if you're in the USA, and if you're overseas, it's already fabulous Friday morning. I am Bruce, aka the guy in the blue shirt, as I'm known on LinkedIn. Woo! And my method is simpler, faster, better. And I actually help people design or originate or clean up existing processes, hence process cleanup. So I am so honored to welcome Sarah. She's in the Bay Area of the West Coast. And welcome, Sarah. Thank you.
So California's had a little bit of a crazy storm. SoCal
Yes.
has been flooding and cars have been floating down the roads, but we've been lucky here in the Bay Area. Not too crazy. Supposed to get some stormy weather tomorrow, but sunshine today. So you'll see the light behind me. So happy to have some decent weather.
Yeah, same in Phoenix. We don't have a long winter, but it's still chilly in the morning, relatively, like in the 40s for us. But this afternoon, actually, before I jumped on to set up with you, I went for a little walk break. I love to do that between big events, and I love doing this weekly or approximately weekly. So I'm a process guy through and through, and we're going to talk about process, supply chain, all sorts of things that come to mind. Um, but I do like to touch upon, and I believe this is a beef of many of us on LinkedIn. We get played with what I call the pitch slappers. So I always like to explain to people, how does Sarah or anyone like Sarah become a guest of mine? And actually, it's a four-step process, and I call it the four C's. So if you would grace me, let me cover that because I think you think about and use LinkedIn in the same way. So like Sarah and I, we started to cross converse in other people's posts, actually, and comments. So the first C is, strike up a conversation. And the conversation can be small, in depth, it can be, but strike up a conversation. And then start to look at connecting with the people that you think you have either things in common. And Sarah and I have a lot of things in common from our past and current. So strike up that connection, and then you don't have to connect with everybody, but connect with those people that you think the conversation had gone well with. And then from there, with all those connections, start to build a community. And that's definitely what I do around my live stream guests. I have a very, very strong community of people that I've interviewed, and some of them I've interviewed more than once. And what's really interesting is in that community, you can then start to develop all sorts of things. And for me, I only collaborate with people that are in my community. So I don't collaborate with what I call the transactional supermarket sellers on LinkedIn. I and
The,
and I
the AI, the AI bots.
the AI bots and the hey, my boss wants to interview you. We're setting up a new division, but it's just a ruse to get your cell phone number, or there's all sorts of amazing things out there. Um, and and so people might say, well, so what, Bruce? The point about that is I have a process. I'm a process guy. I try and do things simpler, faster, better. And my numbers are very interesting. I only jive with about 6% of anyone I'm ever going to meet. So my numbers are pretty low compared to some people. But when I do jive with somebody and when I do collaborate with somebody, I become pretty loyal. And those people that provide services to me become super loyal as well. So that's the key, right? It's that loyalty. It's that supply chain. Build a strong supply chain, right?
Well, I think key to what you just said in the four-step process is the commenting piece.
Absolutely.
Magic happens in the comments. That's where you can really build connection and rapport. And I think a lot of people think LinkedIn is just posting,
Yeah.
but I would actually argue more important than posting your own content is following the right people and writing thoughtful, intentional comments on their posts. So it shows that you're adding value and knowledgeable on whatever the topic is.